Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody had a wonderful day. It was really nice to see the sun again and have some warm temperatures out there. I actually got to do a little bit of work outside, sat outside and talked for a little bit. It was really good to enjoy the sun. It was good to get away from things and kind of look at clouds for a few minutes, and just a really good. I hope all of you got to enjoy at least a piece of it. Um, I want to talk to you about, the sunlight today just made me think about how wonderful and how oppressive darkness can be, and how depressing darkness can be. You get too many cloudy, dreary days in a row, and people feel down in the dumps. Well, they actually know that the lack of vitamin K from sunshine on your skin actually does cause a type of depression. And so it's very interesting, isn't it? It's good for us to be out in it. I want to read the first couple of verses of John 1 to you tonight and talk about it a little bit. This is not anything terribly deep, but I just think it's good to hear something again once in a while and get a little bit of a fresh taste on it. So here we go. John 1 in verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. So, Jesus always existed, part of the Trinity. Everything that happened at creation happened because Jesus was there. And he is the life of mankind, that without him, life doesn't exist at all. And, it's the fifth verse there that I want to kind of focus on tonight. It says, and the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. Now, the word there is probably not what you think. When we hear comprehend, we almost always go to understanding. I comprehend what you're telling me. I understand it. The word comprehend there is formal definition of it, and it means like basically to include, or to encompass, make part of, like bring in. That's what the word comprehend there means. That's the definition of that word there. And so, it says that the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. So it's not that the darkness didn't understand it, it's that the darkness couldn't receive it and pull it into itself. Why? Because the very nature of the way God set things up is that darkness can't exist in the presence of light. That darkness, as a rule, must flee when light comes on the scene. You stand in a dark room tonight, and when you walk in, you flip the light switch, and the light comes on, and it's not dark in the room anymore. It might be shades, but there's not darkness because the light has overpowered it. It's just part of nature, part of the way things exist, because of the way God set things up, because Jesus is the light, and Satan loves the kingdom of darkness. And darkness cannot pull the light of Jesus into it. It must flee and must not exist there. it's a wonderful thing. So I'm sitting out in the sunshine today and just thinking how wonderful it is to be in the sunshine, even if there's a cool breeze or whatever, and not be in darkness. You ever have one of those nights where you wake up suddenly, whether you had a dream or what, or you just wake up suddenly and it's dark and you're a little bit bewildered because you're trying to figure out where you are. And sometimes that happens when you're in your own home, and it just happens. More often than not, it happens when you're not in your own home or not in your own bed, and you wake up and you can't remember that you're somewhere else for the first few seconds. And you're kind of bewildered, where am I? Well, you can't get your bearings about you because there's no light. You're in darkness, and you need light to get your bearings about you. And so obviously, what I'm driving at here is that Jesus is the light, and that you need to be in his presence on a regular basis. Things are out of order. Maybe you're not working. Maybe you're staying at home. Maybe you are working, but things are really different for you at work. Um, Nobody is really in a normal lifestyle right now, not a single person. And that could get old after a while, and could begin to play on you, and could begin to make you feel down. Maybe you're not seeing your friends and family like you want to, and that's not going well for you. All of that stuff, all of the negative things, can all be fought off by getting in the presence of Jesus. How do you get in the presence of Jesus? You pray. You pray. And one of the best things you can do is get alone and or at least get away from the distractions. That was so wonderful. I spent a good portion of this afternoon outdoors, so I wasn't near any kind of media. No TV, no computer. My phone was in my back pocket. I think I got one phone call, but I wasn't on my phone. I was working and doing things, and it was good. It was really good, and it was good to breathe fresh air, and it was good to have the sunlight hit my skin. I remember sitting this afternoon with Lynn and on the deck and eating a salad, and the sun was hitting the side of my face, and I said, I think I'm getting a face burn because it feels so hot, but it didn't matter. It felt really good, and that's the way it is when you choose to set everything else aside, all your burdens aside, and get in the presence of Jesus. You pray, you read the word, and take your Bible and go sit out in the woods. It's fantastic. It's a great thing. You just need to be quiet. Listen to the birds. You don't have to talk all the time when you get in the presence of God. You know that? It's okay to extol him, tell him how much you love him and lift him up and everything. And then you tell him the things that you need, and ask for those things. But it's really, really good to just be quiet. Just be quiet. Listen to birds, listen to squirrels. It's amazing the things you will hear if you sit outside and just be quiet. You'll hear grass rustling, and you're like, I never knew I could hear that before. You get in the presence of the Lord, and he will open up amazing, beautiful things for you. And like this glass here with this water in it is clear, and I can see through it, and you can see through it. Things will get much clearer for you. And even if you have to look through something like water that distorts things a little bit, maybe the vision won't be completely clear for you, but light, I got a lamp next to me here, and if I hold the glass up like this and look through it, the light comes through it. In fact, the water refracts the light and makes it spread out wider. So you get a clearer perspective by clearing your head and getting in the presence of Christ. His light will come into you and refract and spread out to many other people around you. It's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. I hope you all spend some time tonight and tomorrow getting in his presence, just being quiet and listening for his still small voice. Have a great evening, everybody. Love you all. Praying for you.